So this is what's coming to me. If you've seen the old Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, at the end of the movie, Willy Wonka gives Charlie the chocolate factory. And he's like, I'm giving this to you, basically, because you're not trying to do it your way, right? He's like, a long time ago, I decided to seek out a boy that wasn't going to do it man's way, but was going to do it my way. So Charlie was trusted with the most because he wasn't trying to do it himself, because he didn't have the heart posture of needing to make something happen. He didn't have the adult posture of, I have pride in my way, in my understanding, and so I need to do it a certain way. When we have this, we're very limited. And when we are very limited in that understanding because of the pride, we're not given very much. You will not be entrusted with very much when you are in that position. And this is what I feel like the Lord is doing. He's moving us along grace. He's extending grace, and he's moving us along, like in our understanding of things, right? And this is why so many of us have gone such a long time without understanding, because where there's not understanding, where there's not this dot that you can connect from here to here, there is this trust that's being built. And you were seeing time and time again that it's not you becoming more trustworthy with him, but you're actually putting on, receiving, and trusting in his trustworthiness to you, right? That then puts you in a position to receive more grace. The things that take the biggest revelations are the things that probably take the longest to, you go through a time where it's a seed before it's a plant. Like the biggest revelations are probably the ones that take the longest to be produced. But we've been in a certain restless place in the church where we've needed immediate answers, because we have a platform, we have people that are needing to be fed. They need to know, we need to know, we need to know. And so he's just like, basically, like, I will give you a king, but it's not my desire to give you a king. My desire is so much more, but basically you are in a position where you were saying this has to happen on our time. And so I will give to you what you were asking, but what you are asking for is very, very small, because you haven't had the position of having your understanding taken from you and you being stretched in that place so that you can actually receive more. You haven't been brought through the valley where I build trust with you, and you see that it's not you that's going to hold on to anything, but you are entrusting me to extend grace so that it looks like you're holding on to more, but really you're just in the heart posture of like, grace is the only thing that's empowering me to carry what he's having me carry, right? And he's trusting you more with more secrets and more hidden treasures, because you're not trying to do it your way. You're not trying to marry what you understood before with what he's saying. He's stripped you all the way down, and he is building you from the ground up. And I believe these are the willing ones where he's going to extend so much more to, because you see that you're not looking to yourself to be more trustworthy. That's man's way, right? You're not saying, God, make me more faithful to you. God, make me more trustworthy to you. No, you've had these things stripped off of you. And he said, you don't need this. You don't need this anymore. And so you're going through a time where you cannot connect one dot to the next dot. You don't know what is coming for you. And authentic trust and faith is being built in the dark, in the place that you don't understand. And the longer that it seems to be underneath the soil, the bigger the revelation is going to be, right? The longer the weight, the more weight of glory that will be put on you. Because you are now in a position where he can trust you, because you're not going to take it and make it your own, because you don't have your own anymore. You've been stripped down to the bottom. So it's no longer your desires, but it's his desires. It's no longer your way, it's his way. You've abandoned yourself to him. Grace has put you in a position where you see that anything that you produce in your own strength is nothing. And so you're just like, well, how can I get God to trust me? It's like, well, it's not about that anymore. But there's nothing lacking on your end, right? It's just coming to know that the thing that's a strong and solid foundation is his trustworthiness to you. And the more that he puts you in a position where you put that on and you receive that and you grow in that, and those roots of love get deeper and deeper, the more he will be able to trust you with what he has, right? Know who you are in him and you will have what he has, right? But when we don't know who we are in him, we have this mixture of our own understanding, trying to marry it with what he's saying. And so we end up having this like hybrid situation where I feel like there's so many revelations that are just hybrid situations, because he's just like, because of your impatience, because you've not been ready to go in this dry place that I feel like so many of us are in now, but I'm talking about the before time. Because you've not been ready, I have stunted your creativity. I have stunted the freshness that I am extending to you, because I cannot trust you, because you are going to put it upon yourself and try to make it happen in your own strength. And I love you too much to give you a blessing that will keep you in bondage. And so I have to free you from that old way of thinking, right? You look to me for the trustworthiness, which gives him more access to trust you with things, because you're not holding on to it in your own strength, because it doesn't define you, because you've been stripped down to the core where it's no longer your way, it's no longer your desire, but it is his. This is he must do it. You cannot do it. And so much of the journey and so much of the need and the desperation for grace that comes from this place of weakness. It is the key. You must discover your limitation and in the honor in your limitation, because it puts you more in a position where you're like, not my way, but your way. And he's like, now I can trust you with so much more, right? Because you're not trying to do this yourself.